Welcome back to The Word. I'm your host, Taylor Nicholson, reporting for the Baker Orange. On this first episode of the semester, we get an inside look at one of Baker's amenities available to students, what campus staff are doing to accommodate record-breaking student numbers, and hear from students about resources on campus. The Baker weight room is available for all students to use. Here's Meg, Jacob, and Cindriana taking us behind the scenes with Coach Koch.
Hey guys, my name is Coach Koch. Everybody around here just calls me Coach K. We're about to take a tour through George Shore Weight Room, located in the bottom floor of Mabee Hall here at Baker University. Welcome to my crib, let's go check it out. So the first thing you'll notice after you walk in the doors, if you spent any time at the Baker University Weight Room, is that we kind of have a new layout. This was done intentionally. In the past, we had 12 platforms sitting here in the center of the room. We got those platforms out of the way and butted up to all of our racks. We now have 8 power racks up against both sides of the wall. Getting the platforms out of the way really kind of helps open up the space, gives us a little bit more room and a little bit opportunity to do some better exercise selections. We can do a little bit more movement training, better with our jumps, so on and so forth. So it really helps us out to open the room and give us more space. From there, I want to show you a couple of the new things that we have here in the weight room. Favorite thing, and I think this is huge, especially for a lot of our female students and a lot of our smaller athletes, is we have what are known as women's bars, right? And they're essentially just a 33-pound bar, 15 kilograms. It makes it a lot easier for all of our students to learn the hang clean, learn the snatch, learn any kind of overhead pressing movement, or really just kind of if you're new to lifting or new to weight training, it makes it easier for you to move a lighter weight and to help you learn the technique and the form. So it's a little bit safer for all of our athletes as well. A couple of things that I was really keen on getting for the weight room. Some different hurdles, right? And those are great for not only mobility training, but also plyometric and speed training. We'll get those set up out there on the field. We'll go through some hip hurdle mobility workouts. We'll go through some speed training drills. We'll do some various plyometrics with those smaller and medium and even some of those bigger hurdles, getting into our plyos and being more explosive with some of that stuff. We also have a large bit of foam rollers. Those are phenomenal for all of our athletes and for all of our students as well. They're great for recovery, great for that soft tissue work, help keep you mobile, help keep you feeling a little less stiff, and help with that recovery in between sessions. Great for our kids, they love them, they love using them. Only caveat with those are, with the foam rollers and all of our resistance bands, those are typically going to be locked up in my office in the evenings. They'll be readily available throughout the day if anybody wants to come in and use them, but those are things that are typically pretty easy to walk away throughout the day or throughout the evening, so I try to keep those locked up tight because, they're not really cheap. Let's talk real quick about gym rules, right? I'm a pretty big stickler with all of our student athletes about doing things the right way, making sure we're doing all the little things, make sure we're being disciplined. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of our racks here. Everything in our weight room has a place, right? You'll typically see some barbells hanging up in between some of our racks. That's where all of our women's bars are going to be placed throughout the times that they're not being used. If you ever do pull a women's bar down and you want to use it, I just ask that you make sure you're getting it put back. With that, again, everything has a place, everything has a home. We like to keep our racks at 6 and 15. We like to have that bar on that top catch. We like to make sure we have the benches rolled all the way in. We like to make sure every single one of our plates has a home. Every rack should have a 2, a 5, a 10, a 25, a 35, and then a varying amount of 45-pound plates depending on, which rack you're at. But again, we like to make sure we're paying attention to details. We like to make sure we're being disciplined, putting things back to where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. So right here, as soon as you walk into the weight room, there's going to be a schedule posted directly next to the door. That's going to tell you every single group that I have throughout the day, and it's also going to tell you when it's open. If it says open here throughout the middle of the day, you're more than welcome to come into the weight room. Anytime after that last group finishes for the evening, you're welcome to use the weight room. So that's typically going to be somewhere in that 6:30 to 7:30 range, all the way up until 10 or 11 at night is typically when the weight room is going to close. However, with that being said, so if I only have 6 or 7 kids working out, I'm more than welcome to be accommodating if you come in and ask, say, hey coach, can I come in and lift right now? Absolutely, it's a small group. As long as you're staying out of our way, you're more than welcome to use the facility. It's also going to be open pretty much all day on Saturday and Sunday. If for whatever reason it's not unlocked, you're more than welcome to call campus safety, and they'll typically come over pretty quickly to get you open and get you ready to go. Luckily, I got an office here right next to the weight room. If I'm ever not in the weight room, then I'm typically going to be in my office. If I'm not for whatever reason in my office, you can typically just send me a text and I'll get to you whenever and wherever you need me. Thanks for taking a tour with me in my crib, guys. Hope to see you around. Thanks.
This year's freshman class is the largest in Baker history, filling residence halls to max capacity. Here's Kyle for more information.
The record for the university for the campus of College of Arts and Sciences, the Baldwin City campus, is 307, and this year we had a number of 306. Definitely the resurgence from COVID. We had other tactics that we did with the admissions and enrollment services that I think those numbers really paid off for us. Sure. So we definitely increased the number of BK courses we had. We could have stayed with the same number of sections, but we felt like that took away from what really BK or those first classes really do for students, those orientation courses. So we added several more sections so that they could still remain small. The second thing we've done is really looked at our housing, trying to evaluate as we continue to grow. We hope to have another record year next year, and so how can we do that and still keep everybody on campus or allow for students to move off campus? We're offering more classes. We have the same number of faculty and staff, which is important for our budget, right? But we have offered more classes.
Housing went as the same way as it always has. Returners did the lottery back in the spring. Freshmen are placed in order of their deposit date. We had enough spaces to be able to accommodate everybody. Everybody who needs parking, there is parking in a variety of different places around campus, around the residence halls. It is quite full. Yes. The nice thing about Baker is that since we're such a small campus, you can get anywhere you need to in 5 minutes. So there is parking within a very short distance of all the residence halls and any place that you might need to go.
During the week, we will have 2 officers on, probably 2 days out of the week. I have 2 officers on during the day as well. So we are increasing a little bit just so we have a full staff as well. I am, so I'm here all the time. So they can, they always have backup, put it that way.
Now let's get started with the Baker Orange News Rundown. This past week, Baker held its annual Hall of Fame ceremony. Our women's soccer team came in first out of 24 teams in terms of GPA with an average of 3.731. The production of the Laramie Project will come to Baker Stage on October 6th and 7th. The show is a collaboration between the Music and Theater Department with Total Equality Alliance. The Laramie Project will be free for all to attend. An overhaul of our ID card scanners happened outside Baker buildings this week. If you missed the opportunity to reprogram your card, visit the IT department in the basement of the library. 2 Baker soccer players swept the Heart of America Player of the Week awards. Falco Dykhouse and George Comaras received the awards following their performances in the Wildcats' big wins over Central Methodist and Clark last week. Baker football swept Graceland for an exciting homecoming game over the weekend. For more details, visit Brett Gamber's story at thebakerorange.com. Orange reporter Destiny Martinez is out on campus asking students how they use their resources available to them on campus.
Hey, my name is Destiny Martinez, and I'm reporting for Baker Orange, and today I'm going to ask students around campus what are some resources they use here at Baker to stay on track and not fall behind. Hey, today I'm with
Jalen.
And Jalen, what are some resources here at Baker that you use to not fall behind?
Well, I usually use the library. I go in there and study and stuff.
And how do you use the library?
The computers and the quietness.
Today I have
Marisol.
And Maricel, what are some things you use here at Baker to not fall behind?
Study hall.
And how do you use study hall?
It is the best time to use while being a student athlete to catch up on my work that I'm missing.
Today I have
Corey Jones.
And Corey, what are some resources here at Baker that you use to not fall behind?
The Student Academic Success Center over in the library and the Writing Center.
And how do you use those centers?
So they're on the bottom floor of the library. You just go into the office and ask for help, and they'll get you with a tutor who's a current Baker student. And typically they took the class you need help in, so they'll get you straight.
Hey, today I'm with
Logan Hearn,
And what are some resources you use here at Baker to not be behind?
the counseling and admissions office.
And how do you use that?
I go to the admissions office to make sure all my classes and schedules are balanced.
Today I'm with
D. Will.
And what are some resources you use here at Baker to stay on track and not be behind?
I use my teachers.
How do you use your professors?
By after class, going on, talk to them one-on-one, and just asking what I need to do and be planning ahead. Pretty much.
So basically just building your relationship with your professor, right?
Yeah, relationship, trust, get to know 'em and stuff like that. Knowing the person I am, knowing the person they are. So, pretty much.
Today I have
Emma.
And Emma, what are some resources here at Baker that you use to not fall behind?
I use my teachers and my friends mostly, but yeah.
How do you use your teachers?
I go in for their office hours, and then after class I stay and ask questions.
That is a wrap. I'm Destiny Martinez, and those were a few students here at Baker University telling me what are some resources they use here to not fall behind.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of The Word. Remember to keep up to date with all things Baker Orange by following us on social media at Baker Orange. See you in 2 weeks.